So Stavros, this is the end of day 2 of the Coupe de Bretagne in Douarnenez. How was it today?
Well, the sun shone, as you can see now, but unfortunately the wind stayed very, very light. And not only did it stay light, but it was a little bit shifty. But the races did get underway, and we did manage to get 2 races in today. And I'm fortunate enough to be stood by the 2 race winners today. And what it seemed to do on the race course, the wind was a little bit stronger on the right hand side of the race course, and it seemed to pay the boats that started towards the committee boat, and the first beat seemed to pay to go right. Christian won the first race, and I'll just let him talk you and the viewers through how he started the race.
Well, today looked like Cannes a little bit, so we were used to those conditions, very light wind and flat waters, and we were fortunate to pick the right side, which was the right hand side with Lars Henriksen, and he was a bit faster than us, so he turned around the first mark in first position. Then we had a good fight, some kind of match race on the downwind leg, and we were lucky to pass him. And then we were quite lucky, we had plenty of space behind us, so we just continued, and we just won the race, so very happy about it.
Great, and I think he's being very modest, because not only did he win the race, but he extended his lead. Of course, when you are fortunate to gain the lead, when you go through the gate the second time, you can choose your side and you have completely free air. And this always helps in the lead. You can extend your lead if it's again the right way to go, which it was. So well done to Christian for the first race, and then we go on to the second race. And in actual fact, Gavia, who started at the pin end on port, actually crossed the fleet. But Pedro, who won the race, who's next to me, they started the committee boat, and I think Gavia led him around the top mark, but Pedro will tell you how he managed to overtake her during the race.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know actually that Gavia started on the pin, but we had a start on the committee boat and tacked right away. Actually, we lost a little bit of pressure in the first tack to the right, and there was a few boats, about 6 boats, just to windward of us, gained a little bit of a lead on us. But we tacked under the ley line just to make sure we didn't have anyone to tack on us. And when we did that, I could see Gavia about 300 meters below our lane. And the guys who crossed us to the right, they actually overstood the mark, because the wind went right even more. And in the end, Gavia managed to get to the mark on that tack, so she led that rounding, and we were just behind her. And because the pressure was on the right side of the course, we jibe set and she didn't, and it was a bit of a mistake from her. So that gave us the lead. And like Martin said, once you have the lead around the Lure gate, it makes your life a bit easy. So we just took the right mark, the left-hand mark, to go to the right-hand side on the second beat, and we waited for everyone to tack, and we tack and covered. And well, actually, it's much easier to win a race when you're there than to gain one place when you're 20th. That's how it is.
Well, congratulations to both of you on your wins today. Looking at the fleet as a whole and going forward, who would you say are your big competition for the next couple of days as we finish this regatta and look ahead to the main event?
That's quite a tough ask. I think all the good guys are here, obviously. Perhaps not for this regatta, but for the Grand Prix for sure. Everybody will be on top. There are at least 20 boats who can win the Grand Prix, I would say. Certainly the Ukrainian guys, but Gavia and Pedro, all the Portuguese have been sailing a lot this winter. The Russians, of course, that we cannot ignore. I think it will be an interesting battle next week.
Yeah, I think it's warming up into a great event. At the moment, with the wind so light, if you choose one side of the course and you're wrong, it's history. You've had it. But the weather forecast seems to be more wind as the week goes on. So I think the main players like Tommy Muller and Laurie Smith's going to arrive, the current world champion. He's going to be right into the mix. And I don't think actually by missing these first few races it will be a disadvantage, because if you come in completely fresh on Tuesday, Tuesday, you're going to probably experience different wind conditions, and you're not actually gaining any knowledge this week on what may happen next week. So I'd say, like Christian said, it's very, very open, and it's going to be at least 20 people that have a chance to win. And it's just great that we've got nearly 80 boats here competing in this great event.
That's fantastic. Today, obviously, you completed 2 races. The race committee did actually start a 3rd race. Tell us just a little about what happened in the 3rd race they attempted.
I think the main thing was with that race is that it's been warming up all day, and when inevitably you're going to get a sea breeze that's going to affect the race at some time if you have very warm conditions. And what happened was, after the first beat, most of the boats were on the first downwind leg, and a sea breeze started to come in, which cancelled out the wind that we were sailing in. And so as soon as the committee saw the spinnakers going down and up and boats at funny angles, he realised that the race was no longer a fair race, and quite rightly he cancelled it.
Fantastic. Well, guys, thanks so much for talking to us. We'll look forward to hearing how you get on tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.